Hi there, welcome to Word Drop. My name is Ruth Pringle, and once again, I am talking with Jennie Reid.
Hi.
Jennie Reid is a pronunciation coach, and I am an English language coach. And you're an English language coach too. So together, we are True Voice English, and we are making a series of word drops for you to basically enrich your English language learning. There's a lot of artificial resources available online at the moment, and this is an authentic one. We are sharing a word, discussing it together. It's a little bit of a mystery to me which word we are going to be talking about today. But the reason why we're doing it like this is to give you real world English whilst you're watching. Imagine you are present in the conversation and physically with us, taking part. What would you say? What would you like to contribute? And that is going to build the connection between the language we're using, your part in it, and help get you talking and speaking English. So, Jennie, you are our words chooser today.
Yes, and I'll admit I actually changed my word choice this morning because of my morning. And so the word that I have chosen is the word memories.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously there's a story there about what you were up to this morning.
Yeah, this morning I went forest bathing. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, yes. Perhaps you can explain it to people who haven't.
Yeah, so this is a Japanese practice of going into woodland and spending time being in nature and just being very aware and mindful of everything around you. This was my first experience of doing this morning, and it was just an hour's taster session, if you like.
So you weren't forest bathing alone, were you in a group?
I was part of a group, yes. Once a month, I go on a networking event with my local business network. And this month, one of our new members in the network, she organises forest bathing sessions. And so she said that she would do an introductory session for us this month. So that was really nice. And as we were going through and touching leaves and talking to trees and things, it gave me so many lovely feelings, and also a lot of memories came up from when I was a kid. Most Sundays in autumn, me and my family would go for walks in the woods, and we would play games and make trails through the woodland, and we would collect leaves or conkers or acorns depending on what was in season. And so this experience this morning brought up so many lovely memories, and it was just a really calming, relaxing memory and experience this morning.
It sounds like an amazing thing to be taking part in, and like I've come across it because we do it as a practice with my language holidays. We work with somebody who is she doesn't call it forest bathing, but there are elements of that in the way that she guides people through nature. But one thing that is noticeable in what you're saying is the difference between how adults kind of move through nature and how children move through nature. So probably the reason why you were having these such strong memories is maybe because as adults we're not pausing to smell leaves and touch moss and put our fingers into holes and all of the things that children just have permission to do. And as adults we kind of walk through nature, we march through nature, and we rarely explore it with that lovely innocence and curiosity that that is joyful. It's such a pleasure to do.
Yeah, I've got a little woodland near my home, and 3 or 4 times a week I will walk around the woodland, and I feel, oh, I'm walking around nature. But the experience is totally different, because when I go on those walks, my mind is very busy. I'm thinking about what I've done that morning or what I'm going to do that afternoon or evening, depending on the time I go for a walk. And so I'm not really paying attention to what's going on around me. Maybe I notice a squirrel running up a tree, or maybe I notice if something looks different, a tree has fallen over in a storm or something, but there's not this.
We're kind of dimly aware of the seasons changing around us and the things that are different on our path. But like, yeah, it's amazing. Even when you walk with children and they just like, the first thing they do is they find a stick, and it's the stick, and they're not going to let go of the stick. When you get back to the car, like an hour and a half time, they're going to need the stick to go in the car with them. Normally by the end of the car journey, they have forgotten about the stick, but at that time, they are just so insistent that it has to travel with them. And you know, when was the last time we found a stick and had to take it home?
Yeah, don't know.
It's a loss. It really is. I mean, I know you do a lot of canoeing. My mum has a collection of driftwood, so quite often when we find driftwood on a beach, we sort of have permission to pick up and go, oh, it's beautiful, lovely. But maybe because the ocean's cleaned it and sanitized it, dried it and presented it in our path. But kids don't need that. They just pick up a stick and shake the slugs off and celebrate the stick. It's just absolutely glorious. So from a coaching perspective, if we talk about memories, I'm going to suggest that connecting with memories is a very powerful tool for feeling powerful in language, feeling that language belongs to you. Do you have any tips for that?
Yeah, memories and connecting new knowledge with old knowledge is such a powerful way to establish new knowledge into our brains. And it's really important to focus on things that have been positive rather than negative. I know a lot of clients come to me and were told as children that, oh, they were no good at English, for example, by their teacher. They'll never be good at languages. And so I don't want that energy coming in, but it's about saying, okay, well, there's this new word. Can you think of something that it reminds you of, or something that you can connect with it? It doesn't necessarily have to be about the language that they studied at school or the memories of language learning. It can be something outside of that. And that's where...
Yeah, I would argue it's better when it isn't, because then it's deeper, it's more resonant. I mean, if you can just tap into that, possibly, I'm going to risk the word nostalgia, which is a little bit of a loaded word, but certainly the positive part of aspects of nostalgia without any of the cringe. It's like it's really empowering. It's making these words in this language yours and feel like yours, and you can do it directly through like association, the memory association, like you've just mentioned, but something as simple as like maybe the sound of piano in the house was a soundtrack, or a dog barking, or something that was part of your story as a child, could also very easily come into your English learning now and just confirm that it belongs to you. I think that's what I want to say. So often we feel like we're pretending or we're fake when we're speaking a second language, but we can trick our brain into losing that. And teach our brain, but there's little short hacks are superb.
And I also thought that, I guess, as an artist, memories come into the work that artists do as well.
100%. It's an interesting one for art, because our memories are so personal and subjective. Like, so let's think about teddy bears. Everybody can probably remember the teddy bear that they loved when they were little, and at a certain level, it's still dear to them. But why should your audience care about your teddy bear? So this is the difficulty when working with memories, in that they are, it can be cathartic and deeply personal to you to be drawing on personal sources. And of course, as artists, that's what we do. We're making from our heart. Our memories are part of our conversation. But if we are only communicating our memories, then I think they have to be in some way touch a universality, perhaps.
Yeah.
And perhaps even just talking about the slippage between what actually was. I don't know. Like, let's imagine it's the teddy bear, and we then have the chance to rediscover it. There's a loss in the family. We're moving house, something. Anyway, this teddy bear that's been lost for years gets rediscovered, and it's different from how we remembered it. Like, what is it? Smaller? It's a different color. It looks like factory made when we thought it was like the realest thing. So I think that's interesting. The difference between the reality and the fiction inside our brain. I think there's a wealth of really interesting art making within that. It's just kind of discovering, pushing these ideas and turning it into a conversation, not just the act of kind of sharing old photos from childhood. Bring your audience with you. That would be my question as an art coach, really. Thank you for sharing your work today, Jenny. That's it's given me a lot of thought. They are powerful. You're right in saying that. If you have any ideas when you're watching this of how you can use memory in your creative work, or how you can use memory to strengthen the way that you absorb and retain a second language, definitely let us know. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.